Bahashim, Mashiach, Yeshai. This is again Yaakshima, right? We are the sanctified seed of Jeshurun, set apart offspring of the Most High's chosen, peculiar people on the earth, open, seeking, and praying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, faith in Mashiach Yeshai, and walk in the fruits of the Kodash Ruach power. Are y'all blessed? Woke up with joy, thanksgiving, reverence of the Most High in your heart. Pray that you gathering to get yourself together, a nation not desired. Pray that you're giving quiet time to the Most High so you can hear His voice. He's speaking to you every day, right? Pray you being prudent. Pray you being circumspect in all your ways, critiquing yourself, examining yourself, and making sure that you walk in acceptable and Kodash in the sight of the Most High, right? Um, Got to talk to y'all today. Want to talk to y'all, last 3 days about what's on my mind now, and I gotta bring out some history too, so y'all can understand, right? We know what the scriptures say, right? We know what they say about the end times. We know about what's going down with the Iran. We know about what's going down with the prophecies regarding them in Babylon, America, right? For those that might not be understanding prophecy and need a little more, right, or want to be able to explain this truth, other prophecies, to those that haven't been woken up yet, can't really see the breakdown prophetically. I'm going to give you the history today to show you what type of policy was born by what people and when and how they are using it today to bring forth their agenda, and and it's going to subsequently show the fall of how in some parts of the Bible the fourth beast, but in other parts of the Bible the eagle with was it 18 feathers and 3 heads, how that beast, which is the last empire, last kingdom on the earth, is going to fall, right? Pray you might have to take some notes on this, and I'm gonna give it to you the best way I can, right? A lot of it's gonna be verbal quoting of secular history, but of course we're gonna give you some scriptures, right? um One thing we got to know, right? We're gonna start off, this is how we're gonna start it off, right? When the Most High made His creatures in the earth, right, He did it a certain way, right? Let's get it right here. This is we want to get this right quick. This is Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 15. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against the other. Right? We went over this before. There's a up, there's a down, there's a good, there's a bad, there's a righteous, then there's a unrighteous, right? So the Most High, being that He did what? Deuteronomy 76 chose a whole set of our people to be a special people above all people on the face of the earth. The enemy, right? He has a chosen people on this earth as well, right? And they are the people of what? Of the prince of the power of the air, right? Just read in Daniel and show you. And then we're going to begin to break down these people and what they've been doing. All right, this is Daniel chapter 9 and verse 26. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off. This is one of Hamashiach. This is a future prophecy talking about when the Messiah comes to earth. He's going to be cut off. He's going to be killed, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come, because at this point, this is a prophecy that hasn't come to pass yet. So he's saying the people that of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. Now, if you know scripture, it's only been one nation that has destroyed our first temple, the second temple, and us as the temple right now. It's only being done by one people, right? And the sanctuary and the city, and there and the end thereof shall be with a flood, which is the destruction of being invaded and attacked by an army of men. That's what it means, a flood. And unto the end of the war, desolations are determined. So, this people of the prince, right, secularly in his secular history tells you The Romans are the ones who destroyed our city and the ones that burned down our temple, our sanctuary, trodden us down, right? The Romans. This is how, number one, you can understand that the fourth beast is Rome, right? And when you break it down between the heads, 7 heads and the 10 horns, we're going to go through that right now, right? You can write this down if you don't have it already. There's lessons for this already, but I got to set the table. The beast, all right? The beast is the devil, because the devil is behind each and every empire that has been what? Seeking to destroy the seed, the chosen people of the Most High from the inception. Now, the beast being Satan is described as having what? 7 heads. The 7 heads represent Rome. Rome is the first 7-hilled city. All right? That's why the 7 heads represent. It represents Rome. The 10 horns on the head, and we're doing the Revelation 17 breakdown. And I'll correlate back and forth with the Daniel 7:1 too, because it's the only difference between the little horn that comes up in Daniel and the horn that rides up on the beast in the Revelation. Your 10 horns are Spain, France, Great Britain, Netherlands, Denmark, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Germany, Belgium, and the last one, I think it is Sweden. I think it's Sweden. All right. Those are your 10 horns. This is the face and the authority of the power of Rome, which is the beast. Her power, her foreign influence is delegated through these other 10 kingdoms, which are what? The first 10 of the Western EU. Before there was a EU, there was a Western EU. Before Russia, Soviet Union crumpled and it got expanded to EU, it was just a Western EU at first. Now, we got to go to 2nd Esdras. And we want to get the inception. And you guys are going to see what's going on today and why Trump, you're going to understand today why they're going to hate the whore. That's what you're going to understand today. Okay, the scripture says they're going to hate the whore, but you're going to understand why right now, right? So we're going to go and we're going to be in 2nd Esdras chapter 11 and verse 1. I'm going to read all the way down, so then we're going to start lining up what we read. 2nd Esdras 11:1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. 12 feathered wings and 3 heads, right? And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings all over the earth. This is her power, her dominion, her authority. And all the winds of the air blew on her and were gathered together. Verse 3. And I beheld, and out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small. When we go through, I did a lesson on this. It's called, it was on New Moon a couple years ago. It's called 2nd Esdras 11 and 12 and the eagle. I break the whole thing down, but just for now, we're just going to tell you, move quickly with this. These are kings, all right? You would know them to be at some point in the breakdown as emperors, all right? Caesars of Rome, all right? Verse 4. But her heads were at rest. These are the last three last world powers in authority in the end times, which is right now. It tells you 3 heads. All right, mind you, let me jump up here and show you. All right, because you might say, how is this correlating with the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns? This is 2nd Esdras chapter 12 and verse 11. The eagle whom thou sawest, talking to Ezra, come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. This is the same one that's represented as 7 heads and 10 horns that Daniel saw. Verse 12. But it was not expounded. It was not explained. It was not broken down. It was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare unto thee. So this is a deeper breakdown of what was shown to Daniel. This is why it's an eagle and broken down into 3 heads and all these feathers with contrary feathers. Now, when I just said the 3 heads, I'll let you know right now. That's talking about the United States, it's talking about Russia, and it's talking about the Western EU, the 10 nations I just gave you. All right? Now, see. I'm gonna read a little more. We're gonna start breaking something down. Verse 4. But her heads were at rest. I mean, they hadn't came into power and rulership yet. The head in the midst was greater than the other. The head in the middle, that's the United States. They're greater than the two on the left and the right, right? Yet rested it with the residue. Moreover, I beheld, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers and reigned upon the earth and over them that dwelt therein. It's one nation, one people. Whether we want to break them down and say they're different, they all come from one bloodline that's ruling right now, because this beast concludes the captivity of the children of Israel and the rulership of who's going to be running the earth until Hamashiach gets back. There's not another beast after this. So all the dominion, all the rulership over the whole earth come from this one nation, come from these people of the prince, right? Verse 6, and I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her, and no man spake against her, and no creature upon earth. If you know, Africa, the whole continent colonized by Europeans. I'm going to show you where the Europeans came from, right? All Australia, all of Russia. They had in captivity the whole country of India, right? Got over 1 billion people there. They had colonies going all the way through Thailand, Laos, and Southeast Asia, Malaysia, of slave trading all over there, and the East Indian Arab slave trade. You can read about this. Then they colonized the Americas, the ones that were there: Incas, Aztec, Mayas, Subtec, Native Indians, and brought slaves there and took them and brought them back to their Commonwealth countries as well. Everywhere on the earth, the people of the prince have ruled, have got dominion, and they're fulfilled this prophecy the Most High gave what? To war with the sword, right? Now, verse 7, and I beheld, and lo, the eagle rose up on her talents and spake to her feathers, saying, watch not all at once. Don't all y'all kings, the feathers, rule at once, right? Don't all y'all rule at once. Sleep everyone in his own place and watch by course. Everyone take their turn. You sleep, and when this one lay down, then it's time for you to raise up. Everyone get their turn, right? But let the heads be preserved for the last. The three heads, the three empires, America, the Western EU, and Russia, are going to be preserved for the last, right? If you don't know, this is the fight that's going on between Europe and Russia. It's these two heads. Russia is one of them. The Western EU is the other head. They're not together, as you know, but America, as you see it, they're actually not really with both of them either. They used to be, because they were born out of the 10 horns. Out of who? Spain, France, and Great Britain. Those are the three European countries that were colonizing the Americas that United States got its freedom from, right? Now, verse 10, and I beheld, and lo, the voice went not out of her heads, but from the midst of her body. This is the Satan directing them on how we're going to take the whole world captive, how we're going to slave the children of Israel, how we're going to be able to reign and rule with an unstoppable plan. We're going to go over that plan right now, y'all. And he's speaking to each one. It's always the prince that's directing this empire from the beginning to the end. Verse 10, I'll read it again. And I beheld, and lo, the voice went not out of her heads, but from the midst of her body. This also lets you understand that the policy of Rome, especially in the beginning of her stages, was not man being cool with man and just following the last, the king before or the emperor before. I'm gonna follow him and do what he did. Everyone was doing their own thing, separate, right? But they all had the same plan of ruling, right? Now, verse 11, and I numbered her contrary feathers. And that's telling you they don't have the same policy. There are all these kings, which the feathers are, they're contrary to each other. I numbered the contrary, and behold, there were 8 of them. Verse 12, and I looked, and behold, on the right side there rose one feather and reigned all over the earth. This is Julius Caesar. I'm starting knocking them down for you. The one that rose on the right, this is Julius Caesar. Verse 13, and so it was that when it rained, the end of it came, and the place thereof appeared no more. So the next following stood up and reigned and had a great time. Right? So remember, the prophecy said, don't all y'all watch at once. So this next king that raised up, who is it? It's Caesar Augustus. Let's go and get him real quick in the script. Right? This is Luke. This is Luke. Give me a second, y'all. Hey, this is Luke. Luke chapter 2 and verse 1. to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. Right? So this is Caesar Augustus in power when the Mashiach is born. And it's showing. This is who this one is. Now, if you know about Caesar Augustus, he had the longest reign as emperor in the history of all the Roman empires, Caesars, and kings. He had the longest reign. That's why it says, verse 13, and it was so that when it reigned, the end of it came, talking about Julius Caesar, and the place thereof appeared no more. So the next following stood up and reigned and had a great time. All right, what else does it say about Augustus Caesar? Verse 14. And it happened that when it reigned, the end of it came also like as the first, so that it appeared no more. Then came there a voice unto it, saying, this is what the voice, this is what the enemy said to Caesar Augustus. It said, hear thou that hast borne rule over the earth so long. This I say unto thee, before thou beginnest to appear no more, there shall none after thee attain unto thy time, neither unto the half thereof. There's not going to be another emperor or a king or a Caesar that's going to reign long as you did, Caesar Augustus, or even half as long as you did. This is what is being prophesied to him, right? So then, we go to verse 17, it says there, verse 18, then arose the third. Hold on. So I want y'all to understand. The contrary feathers that don't get along with each other. Caesar, he gets killed, right? Y'all know this plays about this stuff. Caesar gets killed, you guys, because the next person that comes up is Augustus. He didn't really have he wasn't really into the putting him to death situation. The whole Senate killed him. You know, we read the other day in how the Romans had a Senate and they convened their government to one man every year, and no one opposed that man. So when you understand, the Senate had opposed Caesar and they killed him. When Caesar Augustus came in, he had a good reign because it was like he's actually spoken of as the true first Caesar. They don't want to respect Julius Caesar. They say Augustus was the first one. Anyways, when Augustus has his reign and he dies, the next one that comes into play is Tiberius. And I'm gonna show you what starts to happen with the life of Tiberius. Verse 18, then arose the third and reigned as the other before and appeared no more also. So this is Tiberius. He's in the script. Let's get him too. All right. This is Luke chapter 3. Now in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate being governor of Judea, and Herod being tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philip, tetrarch of Etruria, and the region of Trachonitis, and Lysimanus, the tetrarch of Abilene. So we're identifying, right? These people, mind you, these are the Romans. These are the people of the prince. These are the people that are reigning. These are the people that are going to destroy Babylon, right? In 70 AD, right? 73 AD, right? Now, let's go. Now, look, guess how Tiberius dies? He gets poisoned, you guys. This is how he dies. You know who takes his place? Claudius. Claudius comes in. Let's read a little bit, right? Now, verse 19. So went it, after Tiberius, right? Verse 18 again. Let me read verse 18. 2nd Edges 11:18. Then arose the third and reigned as the other before and appeared no more also. Because he died and he got poisoned. Verse 19. So when it was all the residue, one after another. The wind blowing my page, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so when it with all the residue one after another. So this is the way it went with all the rulers of Rome. They reigned and then they died every single time. So went it with all the residue one after another, as that every one reigned and then appeared no more. Verse 20. Then I beheld, and lo, in process of time, the feathers that followed stood up upon the right side, that they might rule also. And some of them ruled, and within a while they appeared no more. For some of them were set up, but ruled not. What's that telling you is that when somebody somebody got poisoned, another person would get put in play. This man might have sabotaged the rulership of the king before him and told a woman to poison him, sent some assassins to come kill him. This stuff is happening in the beginning of Rome on a ridiculously crazy level. All right. And so some of them that got set up didn't even get to reign. In 69 AD, there were 4 emperors, 4 Caesars in Rome, all in the same year, because 3 of them got killed and poisoned back to back to back. Right? So after Tiberius, we get a man called Caligula, right? He's in the scripture. Let's get that. And this helps you see the timeline of how everything is going. All right, let's get this one. And mind you, we're going to get one more after him, and then we're going to break down what I'm telling you is going on. I'm going to break it down and show you this is what's going on. This is Acts, right? Acts this 17. Yeah, no. This is Claudius, not Caligula. Claudius, right? Acts chapter 18 and verse 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy. Showing you Israelites, Jews scattered all over. This one man was living in Italy. And what does it say? With his wife Priscilla, because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them. So this is the one that's in power when Paul's doing this. He's about to start his ministry. This is the one. This is the Caesar right now, right? Now, fourth one, we'll get that one right quick. All right, we'll get the fourth one right quick. I mean, no, the fourth. We'll get the fifth one right quick. Then I'm gonna start showing you what was going on, you guys. You guys are gonna learn some stuff. All right. So let's get last one. All right. And we're gonna be looking into. Oh, you know what? Okay. No. All right, I'm gonna just give it to you verbally, right quick. So you got Claudius. Claudius gets poisoned, right? Because I don't, might not quote this properly, but he had a wife that was a wife of one of the previous Caesars. That Caesar died. He married that wife, and she already had a child from the previous king, and she didn't think that her husband, this king, was going to let her son be reigned after he died. So she poisoned him, and then you got a man that takes his spot, and his name is called oh man, I can't remember it. I can't remember right now. But he gets in, and he reigns, for a little while. Somebody poisons him. He dies. Then another emperor comes, Otho. He comes in. He reigns a little while, and then he gets assassinated. Right? And this comes all the way up to a man named Nero. Right? Mind you, this is in 69. All this stuff is happening. Right? Now let's read about Nero in the scripture. We'll get a quick reference of him. I think it talks about him. Right? And Nero was young. Nero became king when he was 17 years old. King Caesar when he was 17 years old. Right? So I'm going to read to you what was said, or just to show his historical, proof of how you breaking down this beast, because people need to know this is what's going on at this time. Now, this is 2 Timothy chapter 4, and this is the end. This is giving you a little subtitle about when 2 Timothy was written. It says, and this is at the end of the chapter of 2 Timothy chapter 4, after verse 22. It says, the second epistle, the second letter unto Timotheus, ordained the first bishop of the church of the Ephesians, was written from Rome when Paul was brought before Nero the second time. All right. So this is showing you all the Caesars are leading up. And guess, best believe, all of these dudes are getting assassinated by getting stabbed or getting poisoned. Right? Now, what does that do? It creates a level of instability in the country, right? And emotions run high, and the next man can jump up and say, well, hey, I can do it. Or the senator get together, hey, look, let's put that guy in right there. We've heard he's been a good military general. This is how Vespasian ended up getting into. The one that started the sacking of Jerusalem. This is how Vespasian ended up being king in 69, because these four Caesars got killed. Now, they got killed because what? They wanted to destabilize Rome so other people can get in. This is what they were doing. One Caesar, jealous of another, he wants the rulership, so they kill him, they kill him. This happens for Years. All throughout the early stages, and then they start having some calm seizures. One of them that is glorified a lot is Marcus Aurelius, the one that's in the movie Gladiator, where they say this is a good king because he cares about the people. He's not trying to rule for filthy lucre and gain. Right now, what I explained to you is the destabilization of a nation to bring in another type of agenda, another type of administration, another king, right? What Rome did, you guys, and listen to me, they took this policy that wasn't a policy, but just the history of how the inception of their country started and made it their foreign policy on conquering other regions of the world. Do y'all hear me what I'm saying? Right? This became a policy. We can take over other nations if we kill their leaders, if we kill their prime ministers, if we kill their kings, right? This is what they started to do. Now, mind you, when Rome started getting too big, they split into two. You had the Western Roman Empire, Eastern Roman Empire. Eastern Roman Empire was really ruling out of modern day Istanbul, which was renamed Constantinople, what was called Constantinople back in the day, right? The Western Roman Empire crumpled first, but the Eastern was still there, and the remnants of those Caesars, right, the people that were of Rome, went all up into between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea and established the land, the ancient land that's not talked about. No one really knows. It's called Khazaria. All right. This is the bloodline people that people like Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine come from. When you see his sweater, he has that logo on his sweater right there. That is it's called the Ukrainian crest. But what it really is the seal of Moloch. That's what that is because that's who they worship, right? And it's also called the Ukraine. It's called the Khazarian Tamga. You can Google it and look it up. All you got to do is Google it up. Khazarian Tamga. He has that on his sweater, y'all. Because what? Kiev, right, capital of Ukraine, was the westernmost city of ancient Khazaria and its capital. They conquered it. It was a place of hub and trade and commerce. It was like one of the first great cities. Kiev is an ancient great city. All right. What happened to ancient Khazaria? And I got to set the table for y'all. The Rus people, right, which are the same bloodline of people that left ancient Novgorod. You can Google that. Novgorod. Norvgod. Novgorod. They had two people of the Western Empire that ascended north. And the people from the Western Empire, they became the Franks, the Gauls, the Normans, the Vikings. They went up, and a lot of them were in Novgorod. Some of Novgorod went east and established the people as the Rus people, which is modern day Russians. And the people of Khazaria were in Kiev, and they were the Khazarians. Those Khazarians are direct bloodline descendants of Amalek. How do we know this? You read in who was Esau Edom? It tells you that King Herod, right, the one that was trying to kill Yeshai when he was born, and slew all the babies 2 years and under in Jerusalem when he couldn't get the wise men to respect him, to show him where the child was that was born over the star in the east. He's a direct descendant of Amalek. He's a direct descendant of Haman, the Agagite, right? The one that was trying to get all the Jews killed in the days of Esther, right? And so of this family is the Khazarians come from, right? It tell you Herod and all his family members, the Herodians, right, would be questioning Yeshai. These are bloodline descendants of him that are all in the kingdom as priests, right? And how were they priests? Just to hit that right quick. During the time of John Hyrcanus in the previous captivity, the Grecian captivity, the Grecians had Hellenized the Jews and made it not able for us to call ourselves Jews, to keep our holy days, keep our laws, keep the commandments by death. So when John Hyrcanus, the nephew of the Maccabees, I think Jonathan, the nephew of Simon Maccabees, got the dominion in war, he made all the Edomites and the Grecians keep our laws. So they subsequently learned our laws. And when the Romans came in and put us under subjection, Herod took those same Edomites that were forced to take our laws and made them priests. And these were some of them, most of them that were arguing with Yeshai were Herodians, Some of them were called Pharisees as well. But these are the people that were in the land and the bloodline of Amalekites that are all in our land, judging us unjustly according to our laws because they had their nation ruling over us. Do y'all understand? Now, getting back to Khazarian Rust. Rust people end up coming down and conquering Khazarians. The Khazarians start funneling into what we know today as Europe, into Poland, and into East Germany, and into which wasn't named there, it was Ukraine, from Kiev, right? This is where all these fake Jews is at. Some of them were taken captive into Russia. That's why it's quote unquote Khazarians up there too, right? Now, in ancient times, when you read the 13th tribe, it tells you. That's why I'm not surprised right now. I told y'all before that Russia is bombing Kiev up to the max because anciently they took Kiev. That was a prize city. That's like a prize. So I always, when the war started, like there's no way in the world Russia's not going to go all the way to Kiev. Even though they were saying we just want the eastern part, we want a buffer zone. Now they're bombing Kiev up, right? For one reason or another, they're bombing Kiev. Now, what does it do? I'll give you an example of what I'm bringing out also with that situation. There were assassination plots that were spoken of against Zelensky. There was assassination plots spoken of against Putin. Why? Because it can create stability, and then somebody gets to come in, right, and bring what? Quote unquote, Ordo of chaos, right? Order out of chaos. They can come like they're the good guy. Come like they fixing things, right? This has been a policy. Now, understand, Britain, those are Romans, you guys. No, understand, these are Romans. When the Byzantine Empire, the fall of the Western Empire, Western Roman Empire went down under the Byzantine Empire, the Moors, the Berbers, right? A lot of our Israelite brethren reigning all in Europe for 1,000 years. When the Renaissance period came and the beast who was wounded won't heal, and they began to have the Renaissance to be rebirth and to conquer and to get the dominion in the lands of Europe and a little bit of Asia. What happened is the Khazarians, subsequently, when they were taken down by the Rus, they started leaving and marrying into the Edomite nobility of all those 10 kingdoms I told you, right? Under the family, the Moravian dynasty. Moravian dynasty. You can Google that. And they put themselves in places of position in all these countries up to today, you guys, because they were monarchies. And so they were like, well, I'm married into the family. At some point, my bloodline's going to get to be in power. And so when you look at people like King Charles, he's directly from Khazaria bloodline. Directly. And this is what I always used to talk about, pure Aryan blood, is because they know they want their bloodline to be according to this so-called royal family they got. They're Caesars. Caesars is like kings, right? Rome. So, what they did, and listen to me carefully, this is what's going on now. Mind you, Spain, France, and Great Britain, right? They go get the colonizing in Americas. America is born, right? And what they do is like, you know what, America? We're going to let it be looked upon as you guys are really being free, but you're still under the Commonwealth realm. Give me that National Geographic book with British. Bring it here right quick. You're still on to be under the Commonwealth of UK, meaning your country's going to pay taxes to us. Yes, the country, America, pays taxes to the fake Jews in Israel every year, you guys. Every month they're paying them taxes. Taxes that they're taxing you guys for working over there. They're taking that money and giving it to the people that call themselves the people, right? And they're giving some to UK. Why? Because they're the same. I'm gonna tell you right now. When I went to UK before I came here, one of the first things I saw was a bank. I went through the town, whatever, went to Whole Foods, whatever, on the outskirts of London, and I saw this bank, and the name of the bank was called Santander Consumer. And I'm like, what in the world? Do y'all know Santander is a bank loan company for, that I got for a car loan, and they charge outrageous, ridiculously high interest loans and they specialize in people who got bad credit. And so when I saw it, I was like, dang, this is actually a bank over here. Over here. Mind you, I never seen that bank in America. If it's there, I didn't know. I never seen that, but it was one in the UK. Because that's what they've been doing to us. They've been, as far as when it comes to money, when it comes to finance, when it comes to debt-based credit, they've been dealing with us from UK from a credit standpoint. In America, they do the more acute, crack your whip, put you to work type, keep you in slavery, keep you enslaved in your mind, keep you subjugated in your mind, right? Govern you, lock you up, all of that. You're UK just like, look, we just want to deal with you on a money tip, give us our money and whatever, do what you gonna do over there, right? And so, mind you, this is a magazine I had this for a long time, just sitting around, right? Start going over and looking into it. It says Atlas of the British Empire. And this empire shows you all the realms, all the Commonwealth, man. I went over a lot of this with you already before. I'm just go over a couple. All of Australia, New Zealand, under British rule, right? British had the best navy back in the day. Just how they had to jump on colonizing and getting realms onto their Commonwealth first, because they had a bomb navy first before everybody did. All of India, tea time, all that, best spices in the world come from India. That's how they got established, right? And I saw a gang of East Indians over there when I was like, dang, that's crazy, right? South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe. You got British Somalia. You got parts of British Morocco. You got parts of Africa. They got colonized. You got Canada, still right now. You got all the Virgin Islands, Trinidad, St. Lucia, St. Croix, St. Thomas, Trinidad, Barbados, all that British. Y'all gotta understand, British. Mind you, and I'm telling you all these things for y'all to understand their realm. Their realm was great. Now, when America came up, this is what you gotta understand what's going on. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Oh, we got some comments on here. I don't know, it's hot outside. That's crazy. Somebody said it's hot outside. I feel like P. Diddy in church. Because he's in a lot of hot water right now. Okay, let me stay focused though. But shalom, family. All praise to the most righteous. You're not supposed to be, he said, yeah. He said he feel like P. Diddy in church. Yeah. Anyways, glory to the Most High. It's hot today too, and y'all see that's why I'll be battling these flies and this heat. But it's been kind of cool today. It was kind of cool yesterday. I almost did a video yesterday, but I said, I'm gonna do it today. Glory to the Most High. So, what's going on now? This policy is being deemed. This is their unofficial foreign policy of the fourth beast, of the eagle, of the 10 horns. That's allocating the power is allocated under, and how they rule the whole world, the dew of the world, the fatness of the earth. This is how it's ruled. Now, when the Ottoman Turks was defeated, the British got a territory and authority and control over Palestine. Do y'all understand? With all this land they had, they got Palestine. Now, they started following, in 1917, these Jewish folks, because they are from them through the Merovingian dynasty. They said, we're going to start putting y'all over in the land. This is 1917. They start just following them in there. Y'all know the history. 1948, the British mandate came, right? To let these people have a place there and be a state there, right? Same time, America's rising, America's being established, and their British is just getting all the wealth from the labor of the slaves, the taxation of the American citizens, and this money's going back to UK, y'all. Just in case y'all don't know, this is how all these European countries got rich. I just found out probably a couple months ago that Greenland belongs to Denmark. I never knew that. That whole big old that jump belongs to Denmark. I'm like, dang, they got the whole world under them, you guys, everybody. And so, as I'm bringing this home, we're gonna read now about. Now we're gonna go back to the beast in the Revelation 17, and it's gonna show you what's going on with Trump, what he's doing. You guys are going to see what's going on. Now, this is Revelation 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Who's the whore? Whore is Babylon, America, you guys. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. They're going to turn against the head that's in the midst, that's on the beast. They're going to turn against her. Mind you, the head on the right side of the head in the midst, that's UK. Because UK was America's what? Right-hand man. They were in arms together at one point. But the scripture says that the 10 horns are going to hate the whore. They're going to hate America. And they're going to burn it with fire. How? What happened when our U.S. just bombed France? Bombed Iran. The whole world said, Iran, you need some nukes? France was one of them. I think Germany was one of them. And the UK talking with them. Right? Hey, you need this. Russia. Oh, gang countries. This is how the 10 horns are going to be associated with the taking down of Babylon, America. Right? Now, you've been hearing the talks about assassinating the spiritual leader of Iran. His name was what? Ali Khamenei, right? What I've explained to you, this should tell you what they did, all right? Or what they want to do. Mind you, when they start putting all the fake people in the land of Palestine, and they said 1948 British Mandate, you know what happened from 1948 all the way to 1969? 64 countries became victim to this foreign policy of destabilization by the British, strictly by the British, of them killing or unaliving kings, prime ministers, whatever you want to call them, rulers. All right. 64 countries had this happen to them. 64 leaders had this happen to them in order for them to get a foothold throughout the world and come in like, oh, we'll help you. We cause destabilization. Like ancient Rome, when they said all the kings they were just killing each other and jumping in. This is what they do all over the world, and this is their motto behind order out of chaos. This is the way that plan. This is the way that is planned and acted out. We're going to create the order. Create the chaos by killing the leaders, and then come in and bring order, which is their order, not the order of the people. Mind you, this is why ancient and back in the day in Iran. Now you're going to get the history. Back in the day in 1959, Iran and U.S. started to see the value. UK and the U.S. started to see the value of the oil deposits that are in Iran. Top 3 in the world. So with them getting the influence throughout the whole Middle East, this was the one country that said, let's get this for us. UK and US, let's get this country for us. Y'all know what they did. Y'all can tell me what they did, because I just explained to you. 1959, what they did is they created an uproar. This is another thing they do. They'll fund a militia, go in there and fight, and make it destable, make it chaos, and we'll come in as a peacekeeping fort. And while we're there, we're gonna be taking this oil that we want. We're gonna be doing whatever. We take the gold, take the herbs, the spices, whatever we want. We're gonna take it while we're there, and then we're gonna establish a foothold, bring democracy, and bring a hospital, make it look like we're doing good stuff, but we're really just raping all the natural resources. This is the policy. This is the foreign policy of UK that they have exacted across the whole earth. All right, up until right now. Now, they installed the Shah of Iran in 1960. He ran all the way up to the 1970. What happened in 1970 was the Iranian Revolution, in which the family, Ali Khamenei's family, led, and they took some of the U.S. citizens at the U.S. consulate hostage. There was a movie about this. I can't remember. I actually watched when I was out here. Took them hostages, and since then, Iran has been an enemy to America. Why? Because America couldn't punk them and go in there and take their oil. You understand? America and UK said, dang, this policy didn't work. We put our own puppet government in there to make sure this is going to be our gold and nobody else, our oil, nobody else's. And they uproared and rebelled against us. So from that point forward, They've been trying to paint Iran as an evil, rebellious, terrorist, wicked nation. Y'all understand this? With this understanding, you should see and believe when these Iranians say, oh, we don't want no problems. Our nuclear facility is for peaceful purposes. This is our land. We should be able to do what we want. We ain't messing with nobody. These dudes ain't messing with nobody. This is why they're able to be stirred up, because they ain't doing nothing wrong and people is messing with them. Do you understand this? All right? So, what did America do? What did UK do? They empowered Saddam Hussein right in neighboring Iraq, and they fought a war with Iran. That's why that war started, because they was like, man, we finna fight these dudes and get our power back. But Iran was tough. They were strong, and they couldn't fight them, and that war ended up being a truce. Hundreds of thousands of people died. Over 100,000 people died in it, which also fits another agenda of the global elite, right? To bring the population of the world down, right? But Iran will still be able to hold on. And so what did America do from then on? We're going to just push sanctions. We're going to put sanctions on them to keep them from rising up and selling their oil all over the world. We're going to put our Navy right in their backyard. And the UK is the one that told America, look, you got the bomb Navy. You got all these soldiers. You got all these people ready to fight or die for us. You go over there and do it. You're the muscle, right? Ever since D-Day, right? In World War II. We need you, America. Come over here and help us. They've been using America to do their dirty work. Using their muscle, using their influence, using their power, all their military base all over the world to be their strong arm all over the earth. You might not notice, there's so many people that call themselves the people, so many of them fakes in our parliament, in our Senate, in our House Representatives, own their businesses. They have great influence in America. But there's a man in there right now, right? And I'm not for the dude or against the dude. I don't care. I'm just telling you the truth. There's a man in there right now. He's changing the status quo of what UK's been doing for hundreds of years to take over all the lands and subjugate them. What is he doing? Y'all heard what he did with Kamani, right? They said, yo, let's take him out. Ancient textbook strategy. Let's take him out, right? Trump's like, no. He offered this dude $30 billion. Now, do you know why he did that? He wants peace. He literally is invested and wants to make America great again. Bring the troops home. That ain't our war. Let them dudes fight, right? And let's be cool. This is the core reason why the whore is being hated by the 10 horns. Putin and Trump are their relationship can be doable. That's what the Western EU was afraid of. Cause what? The Russia's not a threat to America at all. They're a threat to the Western EU. They're a threat to the 10 horns. So they've always used America to pit them against Russia to keep Russia at bay. Y'all gotta understand this. So the policy of the UK trying to, which is wrong, trying to do destabilize reasons, Trump is going against that, and he wants peace. He's going against that. He's thinking about money. He's thinking about dollars. He's thinking about economy. They're like, hold on. You're not supposed to do that, Trump. We're trying to reign and rule over the earth. We need these people to go down. We need Iran to go down. Why are you making a deal with them? Why do you want them to basically have a deal with you only? That's what Trump wants. He wants their oil for America. Not America and UK. Not America and the 10 horns. He wants it just for America. Mind you, America got oil that don't even get pumped in Alaska. They don't even pump it. Just sitting there. And then they buy all the oil in the whole world and go put it on the ground. Don't even use it. Because they think one day the whole world's going to run out of oil and they're going to have a monopoly on the oil. This is what they're doing. This is what they think, right? And so, bringing it home, you guys. What's going on is they're getting mad because Trump is going against the plans that have already been working for them. They're like, man, he's trying to make peace. We want to take this guy out. But he's like, no, let's not kill him. Let's have peace. And then U.S. is going to be cool with Russia. Mind you, Ukraine is nothing but a battleground for Russia and the 10 horns with the United States, giving each side, giving Ukraine weapons and weakening Russia. They're making Russia use a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of their weapons, a lot of resources, to where when this war happens, after the whore is burned with fire, the the 10 horns, they're gonna have enough firepower to beat Russia, and they're gonna beat Russia, you guys. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna beat Russia, right? And so this is what's going on right now with Trump. This is why Babylon is going to get destroyed, because Trump wants to make peace with the guy, but it's against the policy, right? He wants to make peace with Russia, and through that he can't do the bidding of the UK anymore, because UK just, which is Rome, they're trying to keep on having bloodshed and chaos on the earth so they can establish their order. This is why they're mad at Trump. This is why all these arguments they had of him, even in his first policy, he's like, the first time he had office, they was like, why are you doing this? He wants to put America first. And UK's like, oh, you're getting that order, you're under us. And this is what's going to lead to, right, to Babylon getting destroyed by the Medes. This is what's going on, you guys. All right, this is what's going on. This policy of, you can call it divide and conquer, destabilization. This has been a successful foreign policy for the people of the prince, for the Romans, for the Edomites, just to be direct, and it's been working for them. But now it's crumpling. Now Esau's kingdom is going down, and Trump is doing his part. He think he's doing a good thing, and economically he is doing the right thing, but he's a part of an empire. And when the empire starts to crumple, they're going to start cutting their losses and trying to save face. And that's how this whole empire is going to fall all the way down. It's going to be falling. Babylon's going to go down, right? If you're there, I'm going to tell you again, you can't pray this away. The Most High said he would stir up the Medes. The Medes are stirred up. They just said less than 24 hours, less than 12 hours ago, Israel's going to break this ceasefire. Why should we sit here until they get another free shot on us? We're going to start hitting guys, and we're going to start hitting you everywhere. And US, we already got places lined up where we're going to hit you. If you start acting silly some more, he said, all of our attacks are going to be decisive and swift. They're going to be, it's not going down. Mind you, I'm familiar in Babylon that, they don't want no problem, they don't want no smoke with Iran. But it's in the scripture. It was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to bring that out to you guys on a, diplomatic, on a carnal and secular level for you to understand why they're going to hate the whore. Because Trump is not doing things to bring wealth to the commonwealth, meaning the home front of the empire, which is based out of UK, right? UK answers to Rome. But UK is the face of the 10 horns, and they the ones who's been running US, telling US like, nah, we want to do what we want. And they're like, well, no, you don't. We're going to take you off the map, and we're going to let Iran do it. This is what's going on. Glory to the Most High. Just to mention a couple other things. I want to make sure I covered everything on that. Boom, boom. Right. So, if you hear and see, and this is what went down in Libya. They took out Gaddafi because he didn't want to give over to the policies of, Rome and let them, rape them, pillage them. And he said, we're going to make our own currency. We got resources. We going to start gold, and Africa is going to be running off gold, and I'm going to be the first starter. That's all. No, we can't do separate, independent from us. Kill that dude, right? They wanted to kill Maduro, the king or prime minister of Venezuela, because they got one of the top 3 per capita gold lands with oil in the world. Venezuela got stupid, right? What they do? America want to put their navy in their port, say you ain't deporting nothing. You ain't doing nothing. Russia playing the politic game, or we gonna go over there and help them out, send some ships over there, It's a lot going on, all right? But I'm gonna let you know something on the home front. Let y'all know something. Them ICE, or them quote unquote ICE agents, immigration customs enforcement, that are snatching people up, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not a guarantee. Or what they telling you, they dealing with them people. They're gonna tell you, I'm ICE, and we're gonna people that trust the government not even gonna think about this stuff. You're so occupied with why they're doing it, you don't even not even questioning what they're doing with these people we never see ever again, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, I believe a lot of them people's getting taken underground. Cause if y'all ain't got to understand, yeah, they got underground cities fully functioning. People been living under them for decades. I'm gonna let you know, for decades, people been living in them. You need workers. You need employees. You need people there to satisfy certain people's lasciviousness, right? Or lust of their flesh. I'm telling y'all the truth. And it's always been being done through little kids. This kidnapping ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new that's going on right now. Behind it's just another guy's behind it, and now they're taking adults, right? I felt it in my spirit, man. They're taking some of these people. Some of them are getting put out the country, but a lot of them are getting just taken right underground, right there where you at. Telling y'all some real. Telling y'all some real. It's a chore for a country to take care of its inhabitants, even if they're taxing them and making money off them. You still got to feed them and keep them alive. And when you figure you got all this AI coming out, it's a cheaper way to keep on making money. Why do I need to waste my resources of this land I'm running for this person that I don't need? I got a robot doing this job right now. So they're eliminating the people from having to take care of them, and taking them underground, feeding them. Y'all, they make mosquito burgers in some countries, y'all. Telling you the truth. They make mosquito burgers. They catch the mosquitoes. First, they breed them so it can be a whole bunch of them. Then they take them and they break it down and flavor it up, and that junk is a burger. Telling y'all, man. All this stuff is subliminally in so many movies, you guys. All right? But these are the days. This is coming to pass. These people getting snatched up. I'm going to tell you right now. I saw a clip. That clip said that there was a former military operation, I think, in Argentina. This is a military dude saying this. He said there was those that was opposing the government, and the occupying forces were the rebels were getting kidnapped, and whoever was down with the opposition of this civil situation in Argentina was getting cuffed up, put on planes, flowing them out over the ocean, and pushing them dudes out the plane into the water. This is what this military dude said. He said he got some intel that these quote-unquote deportation flights, these people getting taken out the country, they're not really taking them to their country. They just taking them dudes out off the map. Meaning they flying out there, busting a U and pushing them dudes out the dumb plane, cuffed, and they're dying and drowning. They dying. And in America, they think they just got took back home. Ain't nobody watching flights. There is a couple people. There's when I used to watch YouTube like stupid, there was this one dude. I forget what his name is, man, but his name might be NY Prepper. It might be him, yeah. His name is NY Prepper. He had this site where showed every single flight basically in the world, and every type of plane that's up in the air in the world. Y'all might want to go look on there, and you can see what these planes are doing. These deportation planes, the C-17 Global Masters, right? Look at them and get them, and you can track what they're doing. It's a little inside thing. Don't worry about it. You can track what they're doing and see what's going on. Mind you, this is all to further incite what more? What? More chaos, you guys. This is what it's done. It's not because they really want to get the people out like that. It's to get you mad so they can establish an order, a martial law, a Rex 84. That's what they're doing it for. Y'all should know this by now. All right? The way they're acting, come on now. It's brutal. It's blatant to where it's like, dang, you tripping like that? Let's see what's going on with the Haitians, right? Snatched up all the Haitians. They never wanted, us over there. Them our people. They never wanted them over there. And so, understand, you guys, This type of policy is about chaos, but I just want to bring y'all the acute, and the history behind it, and show you, the things that are going down. It have to go this way, and it's going to keep getting more and more chaotic until you lose it. And when you lose it, they're going to say, see, they're acting crazy. Martial law, lock everybody down. Here's what's going to go. A blackout that, from what I'm seeing prophetically, what I'm seeing as far as how everything is going, which can be easily engineered by a strike, EMP, or just by a strike by Iran, or the government can just say Canada turned the lights off like they told you months ago because they want to make Canada a part of America. I told you already, there's a video out that already says that America, Mexico, and Canada are already one country, and it's called the North Country. Like in the scripture, flee ye farther the North Country and deliver every man his soul. That is what Central America, what Mexico all the way up to Canada is called jurisdiction, as a jurisdiction in the UN nations. It's called the North Country. It's not just America and Canada and Mexico no more. They're not telling you. That's what it is. Also, King Charles, he went over to Canada. They was talking some business, mind you. A king doesn't deal with foreign policy. He doesn't deal with any politics. He hires a prime minister or a foreign minister or a president to do that stuff. He's sitting up being the king on his throne chilling. But this king got up and put his business, made it his business, and flew to Canada, you guys, and was talking with the president over there and straightening out some stuff. Like, this is what we're about to do. Because Trump is doing this. We mad at her. Man, this is what we about to do. It's some things, some pieces about to move around. The chaos is just going to keep getting worse and worse. It's going to go to another level, until, y'all, they say, look, military is here to stay. Lock these dudes up. Like I said, the thing that I'm seeing is going to happen next, one of the ancient plagues of old, right? Darkness. Darkness, man. Blackout, right? That's going to create chaos because, come on, ain't nobody can't do nothing when they can't see nothing. Everybody going to start having all these ideas. Enemy spirit going to be up in people's heads. Like, oh, let's go do this. We not going to get caught. You got people falling out still. You got a lot of people falling out. I don't know if y'all getting this information. People are falling out. Youngsters that took that medicine, falling out, dying. It's happening. Them Georgia Guidestones, if y'all ain't familiar with them, the goal is to get the world population under 500 million, at 500 million. All right? The global elites only want 100 million in America at all. So you got a lot of people in Babylon. The earth is going to be turned to darkness and blood and judgment. That's what the revelation of what? Is it the red horse? It's going to take peace from the earth. And the name of the horse was death. That's what them horses are talking about. Judgments in the earth. A lot of people finna start dropping. Some of them, the ones that aren't dropping, we just going to snatch y'all up and go take you out the country, take you underground, take you out for a ride down by the lake, quote unquote, right? Lavelle Crawford, shout out. This thing is turning up by the day, you guys. 1 week to the week, 1 week to the next. It's something more dramatic, more crazy going down. So I'm gonna keep on telling y'all, afflicting your soul, being quiet time in the Most High, praying to the Most High, be faithful, step out the boat, and don't allow yourself to let past experiences keep you from thinking stuff is impossible today. The Father at your back, the Father is your daddy. You are his son. He ready to help you as a father help his son. He ready to help you, but you got to unleash him by faith. You got to put trust in him and not your own arm. But you got to be still so you can hear him. You don't have to move on your own. He didn't make you to figure life out by yourself and just leave you there. He want to help you. But we've been so conditioned to the world and how they say we can survive, how they say we can be successful, how they say we are shielded and protected, right? He says, man, I got a whole different blueprint. And it starts with you surrender. I pray, Yasharal, surrender everything you can think of that belongs to you to him. Example, you talking, surrender how much you run your mouth, man. So, Father, I only want to talk when you tell me to talk. That way you can't interrupt him in the middle of his speech while he's talking to you. I want to surrender my thoughts. I don't even want to be thinking about all this stuff that's going on. I don't even want to think. That's why I be wanting to do these lessons. I be wanting to get this stuff off my mind so I can get my mind all the way back on the Most High without thinking about this stuff. I be wanting to get this out to y'all. All right, now I can just meditate on the Father and just listen. I want to be in constant communion, constant communication, constant worship, constant friendship. A higher wants a friendship, you guys. That's why I did that lesson. That's the most important thing for your life right now is being in tune, being allied, being one with the Most High as He was one with His Son. Here's what Yeshua prayed. Let us be one with Him as He was one with Him. Right? So I pray, man, y'all making quiet time for High every day. Most High Witness in the morning. Scripture says, seek me early, right? And listen for his instruction. And when he tell you, do not disobey. Be grateful, be thankful that he gave you an answer, and do to your best ability what he say. Punctual, as punctual as you can, right? Um, Anything else, come up? Most I will. Y'all come before y'all. Thank y'all for your prayers. And I pray you continue to pray for me, my daughters. We straight, we blessed, we encourage. Um, Everything is blessed. Just an update. I haven't heard anything about the brother out here. That is in the hospital. Um, but I pray y'all, continue, just thank the Most High, man. We got to thank the Most High for each and every day that we have, and not take for granted the life that He give us, and just do what we want, man. We really, for real. You woke up this morning, man. Start your day off. Then, Father, I'm thankful for real. There's people dying every day, y'all. Right? Put off the weak nature. Tell the Most High give you strength. Don't be walking in your emotions. Be strong, man. All right, be strong. And those of y'all that are strong, be strong for those that aren't strong, man. Be there for your brother. Pray for your brother. Encourage your brother. Right. Um, with that, I'm gonna get on right and deal with the rest of the day. Thank you again. I thank y'all for y'all prayers. I'm praying for y'all every day, and I pray you pray our strength. Pray for our body out here, that we assert the Most High, that we walk our soul salvation out, fear and trembling, that we be perfect. We are commanded to be perfect, not good enough. He wants us to be perfect in our heart, man, to do that which He has commanded us to do, right? Call me Asherala. Things have to happen for the kingdom to come, that the kingdom dwell in your soul, right? Don't let the enemy take your joy, and keep the praise of the Most High continue in your mouth, right? All praise always to the Most Mighty, Ahaya Shor Ahaya Bahashim Yeshai. Shalom, all y'all in the chat. I also want to let y'all know, Most High put this on my spirit. I want to let y'all know, in professional sports, you got certain teams, right, that have an arena, that's in their hometown of where their franchise is. And when they play at home, it's called home field or home court advantage. Because even though their team and the opponent they're playing against are professionals at their craft, right, at their sport, the crowd that cheers for the home team when they score or when they do something positive, it gives them a boost, emotional boost, mental boost, confidence, energy, right? It gives them a drive to where it's an advantage to play for the people who are cheering for them, right? I want you guys to know, all you guys that watch the videos, all you guys that subscribe to here, you guys are my home field advantage, okay? You guys are my motivation. I really thank the Most High for y'all, right? Y'all make me want to make sure that I stay studied up, stay tuned into the Spirit, and help me in my walk, because it's not just about me. I feel like I'm responsible. And so I want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all just even watching, tuning in, and sharing. That's enough for me, straight up, right? And so I just pray, that y'all being edified, y'all getting revelation, getting understanding, and that y'all enduring, and y'all being strong, right? I just want to let y'all know that love y'all. Most I bless y'all, prosper your ways. Be ready to war in the spirit at all times, right? And keep that sword of the spirit, man, ready to swing at the enemy, right? The sword is the word, right? Call Kabah, call Yada, call Thai Pyroth, Waha Allah Laka, Haya Ashur Haya, Bahashim Hamashak Yashai, Kwam Yasharala. Shalom, family.